School District Spotlight, sponsored by Go Public Gulf Coast.
Welcome back to Great Day Houston. Parents have more options than ever for their children's education, and our independent school districts are an integral part of that. Our next guest wants to showcase how impactful our public schools are and how the opportunities available to students can change their lives. Please welcome Bob Covey with Go Public Gulf Coast and Chris Janik with Needville ISD. Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
All right, let me start with, I know that students can complain about the educational system, parents complain about the educational system, sometimes teachers are complaining about the system, but let's go back to how it all started. When our forefathers created this country, they know that we would not thrive, we would not even survive unless we had an educated public.
Exactly. And I can tell you that Go Public came together specifically to promote public education. It's something that I feel like I went to school in the 50s and 60s. This is not the same education that we had in the 50s and 60s. This is a very advanced education. We're offering all kinds of incentives and all kinds of diversity. Like, you're looking at two different districts. Our district is the third largest in Texas with about 117,000 students. Chris's is Needville, and how many students do you have?
We have about 3313.
Yeah, a little bit over 3,000.
Yeah.
And yet we have a lot in common because we're educating for the future. And it's like someone said, 70% of the jobs that are going to be available in 20 years, we don't even know what they are yet.
Yeah. All right, so Go Public Gulf Coast, what was the impetus behind starting this?
Well, I think one of the things that for our district specifically, 70% of the people who live in our district don't have kids in school. So they don't have an affiliation with the school specifically, and they don't really know exactly what's going on. So we felt like there was a lot of negativity coming out of the state and federal government about public school. We needed to tell what's really going on and to share the really great things that are happening in our schools, both sizes and in between.
In a smaller district, Miss Duncan, like ours, we joined immediately.
This is Needville, small town. He calls me Miss Duncan. I love it. You got manners.
Being polite, Miss Duncan. We joined when Bob started all of this, basically, and he has a great group of followers. About 3 years ago, because being from a smaller district, we have community involvement, but at the same time, we wanted to get all of the positive opportunities out and expose them to all of the parents in our community. And there are many, many opportunities in the Texas public school system.
And school districts are kind of like their own little microcosm, their own little world. You have so many great things that happen there. You have heroes, you have extraordinary moments. And what I love is that you see, and I gotta say, for a teacher to spend more time with your children than you do during the day and do it voluntarily is amazing, right? There's stuff going on in those classrooms. And to your point, a lot of parents drop off their kids and then go. We aren't in the classroom all day. We don't see what really happens there. So connecting parents is critical.
Right, exactly. And the more parental involvement we have, it's even better. But I'll also say there's a lot of parents that are doing two jobs. And so it's very difficult to be as involved as some parents are. However, it's always important to know what's going on in your school. And that's why we're trying to share exactly what's happening so that they know.
And we're more connected today because we have things like, you can go online, you can email your teacher today, which we couldn't do back in the day, right? You also suggest that we learn more about our schools.
Exactly. And one of those ways of doing that is just, number one, hear it from your kids. Sit down and talk to your kids and listen to what's going on there. That's number one. Number two, go into the school when you get a chance. If you can volunteer, awesome. But at least make a visit so you see what's happening. Because I'm going to tell you, from my point of view, this is a different school education. I've got 5 grandchildren that are going to school right now, and what they're learning is amazingly different. More than what I did.
Well, my mother was at the one-room schoolhouse in East Texas with the dirt floors, right? Where you had kindergarten or you had first grade and 12th grade all in one room. So things are definitely different today. And we shuck and jive and move with what's happening in society. For example, programs offered. I know at some point we kind of got away from some of the trades and we realized that we need those back in place. Those trades are back in place.
They're very much back in place. And Ms. Duncan, again, in our school district, and Bob and I have discussed this in the other districts as well, I mean, we have a great welding program where those kids can get out and get a job immediately. We discussed this earlier this morning, you and I, that the nursing classes that we started in Needville 2 years ago, going on the third, those individuals are certified and ready to go into the workforce and have a positive impact on our community.
also a little bit more specified education. You know, you have your gifted and talented, but we also have our special needs. And a lot of people don't realize that there are programs for kids who are ADHD, dyslexic, whatever it is. Those are programs there and mandated by the state. You just have to go in and sit down and talk with those counselors so they know.
Exactly. And you develop a personal educational program, because if you are challenged, in whatever challenge it might be, it's awesome to be able to take something and work with it and make them as successful as we possibly can.
Yeah, because ready or not, here they come into the world. All right, your spotlight is on a number of things, stories that demonstrate power of education, good for the community to learn about their neighborhood schools and support those schools, whether you have kids in them or not, because when those kids graduate, they're the ones who are going to take care of you through that whole Social Security thing. All right, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And if you would like to learn more about Go Public Gulf Coast and how public education can benefit your family, visit them online at gopublicgulfcoast.com. I went to public school, loved it. John Marshall High School in San Antonio.